Hey everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, SEO in the AI Era, a deep dive into Google's generative search revolution. Excuse me. My name is Riley McLaughlin. I am the content manager here at Main Street ROI, and I will be your webinar host for today's presentation. As you can tell, I'm also sick, so thankfully I am not going to be presenting today's webinar, and instead I'm joined by Doreid Haddad, who is a senior SEO specialist at WordLift. And Doreid will be presenting today's webinar. The format of this webinar is going to be about 45 minutes of presentation with some Q&A here and there. And there's also a section at the very end for Q&A if we don't get to your questions during the webinar. As always, this webinar will be recorded, so you can expect both a copy of this recorded webinar and the slides in your email inbox by tomorrow. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to Doreid.
I'm Doreid. I'm senior SEO at WordLift. It's a company based in Rome. So we do a kind of innovation SEO. We try always to be up to the trends, what's happening in the SEO world, and we provide this SEO service. Today we are going to see an interesting topic. We are going to dive into the ultimate updates that we are seeing in the world of SEO, the world of the search engine, and we will speak about the SGE. So excited to start. Really, if we can move on into the next slide, just to give an introduction. So about me, first of all, this is me according to Google. So I'm a senior SEO specialist at WordLift. I'm specialized in the semantic SEO techniques, so everything related to building knowledge graph and use the knowledge graph to serve the SEO. What we are going to see today is basically how we can prepare ourselves to the new updates that it's coming in the SEO sector. So as we see, in the latest periods, we have a lot of updates. ChatGPT come on. We have also, Bing that has started, to integrate some new functionalities. Then Google start with Bard. So there is a lot happening, especially on the AI front. And now we see, a lot of content is generated by AI. So today we are going to see this new search generative experience, try to split, the different aspects behind each piece, we have inside this new search. And basically our goal is understand how we can prepare our websites for the new era, because this is, a big move using, the AI. So moving to the next slide. Let's start with the basics. So first of all, what is SGE and why we should care? So let's see, the next slide. Yeah, this is, the first question. What is SGE and why we should care? Basically, we can define the SGE like, an early step in the transformation of the search experience using the AI generative. So it's, a new way of making Google more interactive with people. Why Google right now is trying to be more interactive, because we see, for example, that Google already has lost some of the audience that he have after the launch of ChatGPT. We know that ChatGPT as well, they have the OpenAI company have also a collaboration with Microsoft, and they were integrating it into Bing, and already we see that Bing has getting more users. So it's also a kind to stay in the market and also provide new updates using the AI. So if we go to the next slide, we can see that this is, the SGE. So it's a new experimental by Google, by the search labs, and it's a kind of a new revolution in the in Google search, because basically it's changing completely the way how Google deal with the search, and it's becoming more interactive. Moving to the next slide. Yeah, this is the video here. Okay, so why we need to care about SGE? This is, I mean, very interesting, because as you see here, I mean, as Google has announced it, I mean, why first of all we need to care about the SGE? Because first of all, SGE will take the top position inside Google. So we know, I mean, the zero position where we have the richest snippets, and then we have also all the other, I mean, organic results. Here in this new experience, basically the first thing that will happen is that SGE will take the first position. So this is, I mean, a simple reason why we want to care about it, because if the clicks are now arriving for this part, so we need to try to make our website in this first part, basically. The second thing, I mean, why I mean, we need to care about the SGE, because it's a kind of rephrasing the way people use Google. Because first, I mean, Google show the information, and after you click on the websites and go to see the information from the website. Now is a little bit different, because Google is trying to make it easier for the users. So it's about making the search more interactive. And for example, you see here, we see a first piece of content, then we see, I mean, ask to follow up. So it will be a more interactive SERP. Then we have, I mean, the articles that we can see where people can click and after go to see the information. We also we care about it because the CEO of Google, I mean, has compared this shifting to SGE. It's a kind of shifting from desktop to mobile. So it's big, and we know that Google is investing in SGE, and it looks like the founder, the CEO of Google, I mean, it's keen about it, and Google will be, I mean, shifting, I mean, for this new SGE experience. Now it started, I mean, from the United States. It was available in the United States, but I mean, as Google announced it, I believe it will be also extended to another 127 countries in the next year. So in a few months, I believe this will be a part of the Google search. Moving to the next slide.
Okay, real quick, Doreid, it looks like there's a comment. Someone said they're seeing you and not the slide. So I want to make sure that everyone is able to see the slides, because that appears to be what's being shared. So can anyone please comment and let me know if you're seeing the slide deck or if you're seeing Doreid? Yes, you can see the slides.
Yeah.
You see both. Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure. All right, let's go to the next slide.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so now, I mean, let's move to speak about how the SERP, I mean, has been thinked, I mean, and I don't know, this is exactly the next slide really, or there is something before?
This is the very next slide.
Okay, so let's move to it. Okay, so in this slide, I mean, we have a nice idea about the SERP of the future. Why? Basically, I mean, we see, I was just doing, I mean, a simple search on this slide, on this SERP, basically by searching, I mean, Ray-Ban sunglasses. And we see, I mean, right now, a lot of information. I can't give us an idea about how Google will be in the future. So if we take, I mean, a look on this slide, we see that we have, for example, the first piece of information that has been generated by the AI that give me, I mean, some information about the product itself. Then we have the pros and cons, for example, which is another nice piece. Then we have, for example, the aggregate reviews that has been gathered by different sources. Then we have also a comprehensive list of stores offering the same product. Then we have the price information for each store offering this product. And finally, we have the shipping details. So there is already a lot of information at this page. And if we compare it, I mean, with the normal SERP or what we use it to see usually on Google SERP, I can find, I mean, tons of information. Moving, I mean, to the next slide, maybe we can split it in a better way and understand exactly why it's important. Yeah, this can explain it in an easier way. So what Google is trying to do is a kind of becoming a one-stop shopping destination. What that means? That means that for me, as a user, I just do a simple search on Google, and Google will do everything for me. So by doing this new query inside the SGE, I was able, first of all, get all the information, for example, about the product, get all the list of prices that is becoming from different sources. It gives me also the ability to make the comparison between the different prices and the different stores. It brings the reviews from all the other websites, and they give it to me. It gives me also all the information relating for the shipping details in one page. So for me as a user, it's much more easier because basically Google has did all the work. Before, I needed to go page by page. I needed to check the results myself, then I do the comparison. With this new SGE, basically Google is doing 90% of the work based on the information that they get from the websites, and they are giving to me in a very simple way. So it's a kind of becoming one-stop destination. Of course, some people can ask, but in this way, maybe we are going to lose the traffic. In fact, this is, what we're going to see after. So how we can also adapt our content in order not to lose the traffic, even if Google right now is trying to be like one stop to get all the information in one place. Moving to the next slide. Okay, now we are going to speak about the role of AT inside the era of AI. So how we can adapt our content in order to fit up with these changes that we are seeing on the SERP. Next slide, please, Ray. Okay, starting first of all with the generative AI. So we said before that we have the new SGE that Google using the AI in order to show, for example, that introduction on the SGA SERP. And we cannot ignore also that the using of the AI content is growing, especially in the marketing and advertising era. So we can right now generate content with the AI. We can publish on our websites, but this will not be enough, because right now what's happening that Google is finding difficulties in crawling new pages, because if people are able to generate content every day, Google also should crawl tons of content that is generated by AI every day. So they will have problems in the crawling budgets. They will have problems with the resources that need to dedicate to verify the new content that we have on the internet, and it will be very, very difficult. So what we can do in order to avoid this? Moving to the next slide. Yeah, so let's take a look on this. Basically here I did an interesting experiment, because I wanted to know, do the AI content rank on Google? And what I did, that I asked ChatGPT basically to write me an article that speak about if AI content can rank on Google. So it's about a little bit crazy experiment, because I'm asking AI to write an article about if AI can rank on Google. And the result was interesting, because as we see here, this article was ranking first. So even if this article has been generated by the AI, basically it was ranking first, not only on the SERP, but I tested also on SGE, and it was ranking first on SGE. Google was bringing a part of the article that I generated with the AI and showing as a feature result inside the SGE, and also was showing the results inside the related articles that we see in the first part in the SGE section. And you can see also, I mean, the metrics from the Google Search Console. So it was also able to create a good number of clicks and everything that has been done using the AI. So if we take a look, I mean, on it, I would say, okay, the AI generated content can work, because I mean, Google was clear about this topic. If the content, I mean, is useful for the users, it's useful for the audience, it's okay. It doesn't matter what is the way you generate the content. What matters is how much is it useful for the final user. But here, I mean, I would like to speak about the EEAT, because this what will make the difference basically between a normal content that has been written by the AI and by a content which has been enriched with the structured data. Moving to the next slide. Okay, how this occur? Let's see. Moving to the next slide. Okay. Before, I mean, I would like to give, I mean, an introduction about Google that has been, I mean, shifting from the lexical to the semantic search. So before, I mean, giving the answer how that piece of content can rank, I would like, I mean, to come back with time with the different updates that Google, I mean, has been applying, and try to understand in which way Google, I mean, has been going, and I mean, starting from 2010 till we arrive, I mean, to the SGE experience. So if you take a look, I mean, it's clear that Google has been shifting from the lexical, I mean, search to the semantic search, because what they did in 2010, for example, they acquired Freebase, which is, I mean, a semantic database. Then in 2012, I mean, they introduced the knowledge graph. Then in 2013, we see the hummingbird algorithm that has been introduced. Then we have, I mean, the knowledge belt in 2014. In 2015, there was a big change, because we have the RankBrain, which is a machine learning system. So for the first time, we see this machine learning system that basically what it do, it study also how, I mean, people interact with the results, and bring this information for Google, and allow Google basically to I mean, decide which pages should rank first, based on the interaction of people, because we always know that the clicks, I mean, play a role in inside Google algorithm. And by, I mean, introducing the RankBrain, the machine was learning from the people experience, from the people, I mean, interact with pages, and was learning and giving, I mean, all this information for the algorithm, and the algorithm was evolving based a part of information, not only on the, I mean, on the matrix that they have, but also, I mean, based on the interact of people with the SERP results that we have. Then in 2018, I mean, we have major core updates regarding the EAT. Then in 2021, we have the MUM update. So it's clear that Google, I mean, is going in that direction. Moving to the next slide. Yeah, this is, I mean, more or less how we think that the architecture of retrieving, I mean, results on Google is now working. So this is, I mean, before, and this is how we think that is working right now. Moving to the next slide. And here, I mean, we have the interesting thing. So this is, I mean, interesting not only because we have a new AI content that is coming, I mean, right now with the ChatGPT, with the Bard, with all this, I mean, kind of AI tools, but because, I mean, we need to build a kind of a context for everything that we publish. The difference right now between people that are, I mean, using AI and have topics that rank, and people who are, I mean, using AI without having a context, that we need also to use structured data at this point. Why? Because if the search engine is not able to understand who we are, or who is the brand behind the content that has been published, it will be always more difficult to rank, because anyone can go to the best article that we have in the world that's speaking about topic, copy it, ask ChatGPT to rewrite it, and he will come back with a great piece of content. Anyone can do this. But the game right now is about giving a context for the search engine, giving, I mean, a specific information that can allow the search engine to trust our website. So it's a kind of trust game between different companies. It's, I mean, a game of branding who have, I mean, a stronger brand who can give, I mean, more information. So search engine can trust that website. Then we can, I mean, get the traffic even if we have the content that has been generated by the AI. Moving to the next slide. Yeah, this is, I mean, interesting to show. So now, I mean, I will give an answer for my first question. So why that, I mean, article was ranking? Simply here because I've been using, I mean, the structured data behind that article. So basically, when we use the structured data, in this case, my personal structured data, we can make it very clear for the search engine that looks, the author behind this article is me. And what I can do at in this phase basically is working on my entity, working on the structured data inside my web page to tell the search engine, looks, this article has been published by me, even it has been written by the AI, and I am this person who have this name, and after I'm mentioning, for example, all the same as for my social profile. So I can let the search engine, looks, I'm a real person. This is my LinkedIn profile. You can go and check how I am active on LinkedIn. This is my Twitter profile. This is my personal website. This is my Facebook profile. So in this way, when the crawler arrives to the page, they don't only see the content, they can also see who is the person behind this piece of content, and they can also follow the links that I have mentioned inside my structured data, inside the author property that I have on that article, and they can, I mean, trust me. So if we do this, I mean, best practices after, it will be much more easier, because now Google, I mean, is struggling with all the content that has been generated by the AI, and it will be a game of who have more authority. So in this case, we've been using, I mean, the structured data in order to tell the search engine, looks, I am the person behind this piece of content, and this is all the same as of my entity. You can follow them, and you can ensure that I am a real person. So this is, I mean, one piece. Moving to the next slide. This is also, I mean, another interesting piece. So within the person entity that I have, I can also go deeper and tell the search engine, looks, I'm not only that person, but I can also give you more information about the person that I know. Because, for example, when we use the structured data, or when you use the schema markup for person, I can use the attributes knows and let the search engine know who are the people in my industry that I can know, and in this way they will trust me more. So for example, I'm mentioning people I know like Andrea Volpini, who is, I mean, the co-founder of our company, another colleagues, another, I mean, authoritative person in the industry like Jason Bernard, like Ray. So what I give for the search engine, not only the content, but I am giving a context. I am giving, I mean, analogy graph behind my entity. And if you see, this is, I mean, the analogy graph. If we bring the JSON LD behind this page and we check it on the viewer, we will see all this information. And this is the reason why, I mean, the content will rank, because Google can trust this content, not because of the content itself, but because of the person behind the content. And this is a very good practice, I mean, to do. So, I mean, if we have a website, we have an articles, I see that a lot of people, they don't associate the article for themselves, but they leave it for the organization. This could work, but of course, I mean, if I'm able to tell the search engine, looks, there is a real person behind this content, this will be better. So the search engine, I mean, now can trust me, and they can trust that this is not an AI content, but it's a content that has been, I mean, created by real people. And this is, of course, I mean, one of the things that we can do in order, I mean, to get, I mean, the trust of the search engine, and in order to stand out, even, I mean, if we have a lot of AI content generated by other people with the same industry. Moving, I mean, to the next slide. Okay, here, I would like to mention two important updates. Basically, one on the 27th of November and the other one on the 29th. So, in the past weeks, I believe we got these two important updates. Why we have these updates? This is also a kind of confirmation of Google that they need more information from us, and we need to increase the EAT. So in the first update, basically Google is only trying to get more information about who you are. So it's always an update on the structured data level. So they give an update for the profile page, for example, which is very important, and the discussion forum, which is another piece, very important. Similar to what we discussed before, by adding the structured data, in this case, we can give the search engine more information about who we are, and the search engine can also trust our website because they can know who we are. The second update on the 21 of November is related for the organization, and we see that also Google has started to support it in new attributes within the organization markup. So here, for example, a very nice piece of information, we see the VAT ID. So why Google, is asking the organization to inject the VAT ID inside this organization markup? Because they cannot trust that this is a real organization. They can see that they have, VAT ID, they have, very clear information. So if any information has been generated by the AI and the content doesn't have the VAT ID, maybe it will be a spammy stuff. In this case, when we, for example, when we inject the VAT ID inside, our organization markup, this will give Google, more confidence to trust our content and rank it better. So both of them, both of these updates can give us a clear idea that Google needs more information about people, needs more information also about businesses, about organizations. So it will be, interesting to keep this information up to date and try to do the best that we can on the EEAT front. Moving forward to the next slide. Okay, so now, after we speak about SGE, after we speak about the AI content, after we speak about the EAT, let's see what we can do further with the AI. Let's move to the next slide. Okay, so the idea behind is what we want to do is not only using the AI tools. What we can do is using also the knowledge graph behind. So as we see in the previous example, if I generated the content with the AI and I create the knowledge graph behind me as an author and the people that I know, Google will trust it and will bring, traffic to my website. This is, a kind of the direction we would like to work with. We started with this, experiment with WordLift, some months ago. Now we have, more stable workflow, and what we do is always using, the AI tools because they can make our life easier, but we combine it with the knowledge graph approach. And now, we are going to explain why. Let's move, to the next slide. So this is, an extension, for example, I started experimenting with. Basically, it's a WordLift extension that we added to Chat GPT. And basically what this extension is doing is instead of writing content using the OpenAI APIs or using the different language models that OpenAI make available, we are going to combine this, all these AI tools with the data that I have inside the knowledge graph, okay, with the data that I have built using the structured data. Moving to the next slide. This can make it very clear. So this is exactly what we can do. This is, how we can use this big revolution, of all the AI tools in a way that can allow us keep, using the AI tool, but in the same time coming back with the relevant results. So In the first part, I mean, I asked my colleague to ask, who is me, okay? And this is the answer of ChatGPT. Of course, I mean, ChatGPT has been trained with I mean, a lot of information, but it will not be able to give me an answer. Why? Because anyone can use ChatGPT and anyone can generate information based on the knowledge of the ChatGPT. But in the second case, where I mean, I'm using the knowledge graph, basically how we are using the knowledge graph, I'm just, I mean, asking ChatGPT using the WordLift key. Basically, I mean, it's a kind of ID that we use in our company to make the connection between ChatGPT and the information that I have inside the knowledge graph. And we see the difference because in the second example, basically ChatGPT was able to give me an answer. Why? Because it doesn't bring the information only from the knowledge of ChatGPT, but it's bring the information from the knowledge of the ChatGPT and combine it with the knowledge that I have inside my knowledge graph. So this, I mean, it's quite powerful because I can do a lot of stuff. And this is what can make me stand on the SERP, because all the industry is using, I mean, the API of OpenAI. They use ChatGPT. They use something that has been trained on the whole web. Instead, when I'm combining this data with only the structured data that I have, I mean, building on my website with the knowledge graph that I'm building on my websites, the results will be completely different because it will be more accurate, and the model will be trained only with the information that I have inside my knowledge graph, and will be much more intelligent and will provide me with content that is very relevant and is very accurate, and it has been trained with my I mean, with my vocabulary, with my website, with all the information that I have inside my website. Moving to the next slide. Yeah, so this is, I mean, also another interesting, I mean, experiment we've been doing. So basically what we wanted to do here is I like building an agent using the AI, and this agent, I mean, can do what an SEO do. Of course, we see, I mean, different sections here. The most important things that we have the knowledge graph. So if you see, I mean, on the right side, we have the key, which are, I mean, all the structured data that we've been working on our website, all the knowledge graph that have been, I mean, building inside our website. Then we have the brain, which is the memory, for example. Then we have the agent that we can ask to do some optimization. Of course, the agent will use the APIs. So we'll use, I mean, the open AI, for example, APIs or any kind of APIs, and we'll do what an SEO do. So if we can, I mean, if we ask the agents, can you find new SEO opportunities for a specific page? What the agent will do is doing a work as an SEO expert. So the agent will analyze, for example, the page, will go to the SERP, will see the competitors, will come back to me and will suggest content to me. This is, I mean, a good way how we can use AI, because we can, I mean, add different layers, and on each layer, basically, we can ask the we can ask the agent to do a specific job. So one agent can, for example, check the data from Google Search Console and tell me, looks, you have opportunities on that page. Another agent can go to the SERP and they check, I mean, the first website that are ranking for a specific query. Another agent can, I mean, suggest to give me more content inside my websites, and in this way, I mean, I can improve the content based on a specific analysis. Another agent can go and see the information that I have inside the knowledge graph and tell me, looks, if you want to optimize this page, for example, you can also inject specific entities. So this is, I mean, the kind of things that can help us, I mean, on the daily SEO work by using, I mean, different agents. Moving to the next slide. Here also we can see, I mean, how we can play with the prompt, because, I mean, we believe that the SEO of the future will be based, I mean, on prompting. So I believe, I mean, my role will be shifting from from SEO to prompt engineer, because I mean now a big part of the work can be done also by the machine, by the AI. So for example, we can see the prompt, what we are asking. We are asking the agent that you are, I mean, a specialized agents with access to the WordLift analysis APIs and the WordLift content expansion APIs. So what we are going to do is, your job is to assist users with content analysis and content expansion. So you can analyze the text to extract entities and keywords. So if I have, I mean, an article, I can ask the agent to analyze this data, analyze a specific URLs, then go to the SERP and see what are, I mean, the best ranking websites. Go there and come back to me with the ideas, come back to me with the entities, the piece of content that I need to enrich my article with, and finally it suggests to me, for example, the content expansion. So new pieces of content that I can do in this case, because maybe the competitors are covering and B is not covering it. So in this case, I mean, I can improve the SEO by doing this kind of experiment. Sorry. And of course, this will be, I mean, much more easier, because the final part, I mean, I can review it before publishing it. So in case I see that information are useful, relevant for my content, I can do, I mean, one click and after get all this stuff published on my website. Moving forward, I believe this is, I mean, the final one. No, sorry, because I added this one today. So basically here, I mean, we can see also another experiment that basically has been done by our, I mean, co-founder Andrea Volpini. So what we've been doing is using the agent to write an article. So he asked, I mean, the agent, can you write an article about me? And you see, I mean, the difference between the two models. So in the first model, we have the AI. In the second model, we have the AI that's bringing the data from the knowledge graph. And we see that, I mean, according to the first AI, I mean, I've been born in 1975, which is, I mean, completely wrong. And I mean, it's giving only some information that has been, I mean, broken from the SERP, which is, I mean, completely wrong. Instead, I mean, in the second model, I mean, the results was, I mean, quite astonishing, because the AI was able to write an article about things that even I forget I do it. So it makes a kind, I mean, of, first of all, it makes a kind of combination between English and Italian. And this is, I mean, already it's crazy things, because I mean, it's writing about the semantic SEO maestro, which is something interesting. Then it make a kind of collection of all the articles that has been written by me, and it mention it in one new article. So this is the way how we can use AI. In this way, I mean, it's very useful because it can give accurate information, train it with our information, so with the information that we have in the knowledge graph, and it also, I mean, bring another insights, so it can be useful on the internal linking. For example, we can use the AI for the internal linking. If I make a query and I ask the agent, can you bring me all the articles that are speaking about a specific topics? It can be done this way. So in this way, we can, I mean, improve the internal linkings. It also can be useful when we need, I mean, to update a content using the same method, internal linking, updating content, bringing in new entities, for example, to the content that we are not covering. This is also another way. So it's completely, I mean, different from using AI alone when we combine it with the knowledge graph. Moving forward. Yeah, this is, I mean, also some results basically we get from different websites. So we're starting, I mean, adapting the content generation using the AI. Of course, when we trained with the knowledge graph that we built, we see, I mean, here's some numbers. So we start, I mean, experimenting with it on 4 e-commerce websites on about 252 pages, where we started, I mean, generating FAQs. And basically, by doing this experiment, we get, I mean, more than 100K additional clicks with a content that has been totally, I mean, generated by the AI. But of course, we were, I mean, taking into consideration all the rules regarding the knowledge graph. So it wasn't only AI content, but it was, I mean, a content generated using the AI, taking into consideration all the information that we have inside the knowledge graph. And yeah, I believe with this we arrived to the end of the presentation.
All right. Thanks, Doreid, for that presentation. And let's take a look at these questions. So if you have if you have any questions for Doreid, please put those in the chat now. And I'm scrolling through. Let's see. So Doreid, if you can answer this one, what is the influence of pros and cons schema for the pros and cons of the product show up in SGE?
Yeah, basically for the pros and cons, we don't have, I mean, a very specific schema markup there. So it was only Google who was, I mean, extracting information from the SERP. So, but I mean the idea is that if I'm using the structured data, especially if I'm, I mean, adding structured data regarding the prices, the aggregate ratings, for example, the reviews, what will happen that when Google tries to show it to the final users, he will feed this information from those websites. Okay, so basically with the SGE, I can get more opportunities if I mean using the structured data, if I'm using, I mean, the knowledge graph behind in order to get the clicks, because Google will feed the SGE with the information I provide. So if I'm providing it, I will get more opportunities. If I'm not providing this data, I will get less opportunities from getting clicks using, I mean, from the SGE itself.
Okay, great. And then we had a question from Gloria, and I think you answered this, but I'm just gonna touch on this again. If everyone is using AI to generate content, won't all content in a specific topic be very similar? And how will Google rank them? So it sounds like in terms of ranking, you mentioned that as long as Google's able to tie certain content back to an individual person, that is a factor in the ranking. Is that right?
Exactly. This is the answer. So it will be a game of EEAT. Who is more authoritative? So if I am able, I mean, to use the structured data in the same way, we have the article markup, then we have the author attribute inside the article markup. If I'm able to work better on the structured data, telling the search engine who is me, using, I mean, attributes like the same as that can allow the search engine understand even who I am, and when the search engine trusts that I am a real person, then even if there are others using, I mean, the AI content and they are publishing tons of data, Google will not trust them. Why? Because they are not real persons. So this is, I mean, the kind of idea we need to focus on. The other things that will comes, I mean, more important with that time is branding, because stronger brand will get, I mean, a better visibility, because of course we will come to the phase that all content is generated by AI and all content is great. Okay, so how I mean the search engine can distinguish us? The branding will be very important. Working on the EEAT will be important. The latest update that we see from Google, I mean, in November, are quite important. So if we are able to enrich the structured data with those attributes that Google mentioned on the profile page, on the VAT, for example, on the organization, this will make, I mean, a big difference, because it will enhance, I mean, our websites, and it will make Google trust better, I mean, our website.
Perfect. And it looks like Gloria and Lana are looking for a specific slide, AI compared to AI plus knowledge graph. Was this the example? Gloria and Lana, if you can confirm if this was the slide you wanted to see again. And the slides will be sent out as well, so you can take a look at those.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Jeannie says, thank you, Doreid. You mentioned various agents gather info. Are you saying these are all associated via WordLift?
Yeah, basically, this is something, I mean, that we build with AI, and why, I mean, I bring it because I would like to show, I mean, how we can use the AI for our advantage. Okay, So the idea, I mean, behind these two models is very simple. In the first, part, I would show, I mean, if you are using the AI alone, I mean, this will not be enough because this is something that all people can do. Instead, on the second part, when we are using the AI, but we are training the models with data, this is something, I mean, will be completely different. So this is the way, I mean, how we see that, I mean, the web will be evolving. And if we want to make the difference, we need to combine the AI tools with the data that we have. So the models can be trained with our data, but not with the data that we have on the web, because anyone on the web, I mean, can do the same thing.
All right, and then Lana says the AI writing is more humanitarian and the AI plus knowledge seems more results driven. Is this the case in general?
No, basically, I mean, the idea is in the first part, Google is bringing, I mean, wrong, no, sorry, not Google, ChatGPT, for example, in this case, is bringing wrong information because, I mean, I wasn't born in 1975 and it's completely wrong. So what we want to do is bringing correct information. And in the second case, basically, what I like the most that in addition to bringing, I mean, the accurate information about me using the information that we have in the structured data and the knowledge graph, it can also, I mean, contribute to improve the internal linkings. Why? Because you are bringing data from the same place. Okay, you are, I mean, training the model with all the information that you have on your website. So on one side, you can, I mean, get advantage from the model itself, the language model itself that is using by ChatGPT, and on the second side, you can, I mean, get advantage from the information that you have within your website, so you can be sure that nothing will be wrong and all the information will be with the same website and trained on the same set of data that we have in the same website. And this, of course, will lead for a better internal linkings. For example, if I ask, I mean, now, I mean, GPT-4 to make internal links or provide me with the links, they will link something from outside my website, okay? But instead, if I'm using the knowledge graph behind, they will link all the articles within my website. And this is also, I mean, important on the SEO front. Not only about the content, but also, I mean, the internal linking and the connections between the different components that we have within the same website.
Great, and it looks like there's a few comments about seeing a demo of this with WordLift. So I don't know that we can do a demo right now, but if anyone wanted to reach out, how would they get in contact with you, Doreid, or with WordLift?
I believe we can, I mean, leave information for with all the people that attend, I mean, this event. Maybe we can give the information of my colleague or what email. They can go also to wordlift.io. They can ask a demo directly, I mean, from the websites, and one, I mean, of our colleagues can take a place. So, or from our official websites, or they can follow up on the email or the presentation that we can send after this meeting.
Perfect.
Yeah, and if they need, I mean, more information, we have also our blog. So we've been, I mean, testing a lot of websites. We've been, I mean, experimenting a lot with the new models with AI. We read a lot of articles, I mean, regarding the EAT, how we can use these different tools. I mean, our co-founder Andrea also has provided a lot of agents that can be also used, I mean, in order to test the knowledge graph with the AI. So feel free to go there, I mean, and see all the information.
Great, and I just put the website URL in the chat. Perfect. Are there any other questions for Doreid? We have a little time left. Let's just give it another 20 or 30 seconds. Let's see. Oh, so Marty asked a question. If she was interested in signing up for a plan to get access to this WordLift tool, which plan would this be that she would need?
I believe it's better that she get a demo with one of my colleagues because I'm more on the SEO part, so I don't have a clear idea about the plans and everything. I will advise her. Just to book a demo with one of my colleagues. Then the colleagues will can give her a better idea than me. They can walk her better. Through this. About what is the best plan that can fit to start the experiment. With this agents.
Okay, perfect. And then it looks like Mark asked a question. How is the content creator identified?
Sorry, that I didn't hear the full question. How?
Yeah, how is the content creator identified? I assume when Google's trying to rank content and you know they see that this content is posted by this individual person
Yeah.
versus yeah, I believe that's the direction Mark was going.
Yeah, basically by using the structured data there. If I'm using the structured data behind my article, I can show the search engine exactly who I am. The best practice there, not only mentioning the page of the author profile on the same website, but we can enrich it also with another attributes. For example, when we were using, the same as, basically, we were mentioning also the LinkedIn profile, the social profile, so Google can see this piece of information. They can, back and check if I'm a real person or not.
All right. Jeannie asked, what are the new features of WordLift coming out in 2024?
Yeah, very nice question. I believe, right now we are investing a lot on those tools, the agent tools. So basically, just to give, an idea, we have, let's say, a product for WordPress, which is a plugin that brings structured data. Then we have, another services for enterprise and for, other companies that basically work with the tools. So, as the SEO is evolving, we will not be focusing only, on the first part that usually we did in the past, but we've been, the last year working too much with the enterprise companies, and this is the reason why we were focusing only, on doing tools that can scale. So for the new tools, as far as I know from the product team, we have the content generation, which is, a very nice tool. Basically, this tool can analyze the web pages, can go to the SERP and do a kind of, benchmark analysis, come back to you and suggest to you what are the content that you need to add on the websites. And I believe this is already, a tool that we have available, I believe, in the store. This is, content generation tool. We have also another tool, basically, that build structured data. So in addition to the content that you can add to the website, you can also, use the tool in order to generate the structured data behind. Because the idea is not only about, updating content, but also build a structured data behind. So you have everything covered. You have the structured data that can speak the same language of the search engine, and in the same time, you can update the content basically using this tool.
Great. And it looks like 3 more questions came in. So Lana wants to know, overall, what are the main tools to combine manual SEO and HTML, plus using AI for content writing, plus what else do you suggest?
Yeah, I believe, here the most important things before speaking about the tools is understanding the logic behind. So I can use any tool in the world, but the most important things that for me, I believe building the knowledge graph first of all. And when I say building the knowledge graph is creating the structured data on my website, because each piece on my website should represent a unique piece. If I have an article, I should, build the article markup. If I have an about page, I can add the about page markup. The home page, I can add the organization markup. Curate them as we can, because starting with the structured data will give us, this solid base where we can build over. Okay, so create the structured data on the website. This is the first step. Second step, combine it with the knowledge graph. So once we have this solid, base, after start experimenting with the AI tools. So using the knowledge graph that we have, using the structured data that we have, the knowledge graph that we build in our websites with the AI tools after, then we can go forward. What are the best tools to do this? One, could be the content generation that I suggested before by WordLift, because this, will do the work for me. It can analyze the content. It can give me the structured data. After, I can build also, the content based on the analysis that I get. This is, one of the tools. I believe what you can use if you want to experiment with the OpenAI tools, you can also, get a key from OpenAI using the language models. If you have already, your knowledge graph or your content, you can also, train it. So you can use the APIs in order, to experiment with this kind of tools. Yeah, this is, what comes on to my mind. I believe best tool on our side is the content generation tool. This tool will make it much more easier because it can combine the structured data with the content at the same time.
Perfect. And then Mark asked a question and then followed it up with more clarification. So Mark says, what is in place to help ensure there is no fraud associated with content creator identification? So I understand if someone posts something on LinkedIn, it's pretty hard to commit fraud, but if someone is creating content on a blog, it seems that someone could fraudulently attribute that content to a famous person.
I believe, Google is intelligent enough to get this information, because, where we are combining a lot of data at the same time, it will be hard to play with it, because there is the authority, there is, the domain's age, there are the backlinks. It's not easy. After, to try, to bring, wrong information for the search engine, because there are a lot of entry points that the search engine can use in order to identify someone. So it will be a little hard, and we know that, the algorithm right now are advanced. We have whole algorithms that work with the spammy content. They can identify it. So I believe the percentage, will not be that big, and the search engine will find always a way to identify if you are a real person or not.
Perfect. All right, well, it looks like we are at the end of our questions. Let's wait another 15 seconds or so, but we're nearing the end. So good. Okay, Lucy. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions. So perfect. All right, well, I want to thank Doreid for an awesome presentation today. Thanks, Doreid, for coming.
Thanks, Ryan.
And yeah, again, the recording and the slides will be sent out tomorrow, so you can expect those in your inbox. And with that, thanks everyone, and have a great rest of your day.
Have a nice day. Thank you.
Alrighty, bye-bye.
Bye.